If it want to, there it goes. We here. We live. Yeah. What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to the Urban Anime.
Yes.
We here to talk about some interesting topics this week. But let's start with the peak of all peaks. Big
One Piece.
I got an agenda to push.
I'm here for it.
Before I start my agenda.
Per usual.
Look, it's some things changed this chapter. And I had some ideas, some thoughts, if you will.
Okay.
Right. So basically, for all y'all don't know, this chapter kind of goes like MF basically unleashes some sealed haki from Joyboy from 800 years ago.
People that nuke, no funny shit.
Nukes the Gorosei right back to their
They were
kitchen,
not ready.
right back to the burger factory which they came from.
Krusty
Imu
Krab
was screaming in pain.
Imu was twerking on it. That nigga, they had that nigga on his knees,
Yo.
dog. That nigga, yeah, man. He was throwing it back in pain, bro. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It was nuts. That was absurd.
He wasn't prepared for the original.
Had a random aide over there see him twerk out in pain.
He felt the
what's
grips joy,
crazy
that
is-
nigga was on his knees, dog. It's crazy.
Imu's gonna kill whatever that aide is too. That's the crazy part.
Right.
That person's
And then
gonna
the
lose their
one
life
nigga
for showing
responsible,
genuine
bro.
concern.
Nigga ran in to see if he needed help. Wrong decision, buddy. Wrong decision.
Nah.
Imu.
Everyone's dying. I'm frustrated. Like,
Now none of
and
you
then the
exist.
one dude responsible, Jay Garcia, does not get sent back to Mary Jo, bro.
I think that
dude
confirms,
everybody was
though.
gonna point at.
I think it confirms like what happened. That was a seal. Whatever happened is an extension of Eam's ability because Eam got affected and the Gorosei were recalled. So I think Garcia was actually physical. He was the only one who was actually there. The rest of them got summoned by Eam's ability. So that does kind of lead, or at least I give credence to the idea that either they're not real people or they're just empowered by Eam. Like everything that they could do, it's not technical devil fruits abilities. They're just empowered by him type shit.
Because
he was the only one that was actually, he had to take a boat to get there. So yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Because he was summoned from the boat onto the island. So is everybody just sent back to their summoning circle? Because if that's the case,
Probably.
Jay Garcia's summoning circle might be in the bottom of the ocean. They were just fighting Mach 3s, giants.
I think that might have been a
whole
consequence of his
pirates.
move type shit, the summoning circle that he put down. But the rest of them were genuinely like however many. They were oceans away and shit like that. I just wonder what it takes to make it so that they're summoned, because I just think it's Eam's will. I think it's genuinely Eam like, nah, y'all are gonna appear here type shit, because they only disappeared when he caught that hockey blast type shit.
I kind of think their powers are related to the summoning as well. If I'm being like those hockey abilities, those zone abilities, I think they can only use those abilities when they've been summoned somewhere with either Eam's power or something or other. But I don't feel like those. I don't feel like those are directly their power. I think that that's power that they're borrowing more or less when they get summoned down somewhere.
I wonder. I feel like they could always utilize it, because remember when Sabo popped up in front of them, they transformed that. They were like, "Fuck this."
Yeah, but Eam was right there.
That is true.
I think because the thing is, when they got sent back, they didn't get sent back in their monster forms. They didn't. You feel me? Like they got knocked out of those abilities and they got sent back to Mary Jo. That seems kind of odd.
Do you think they kind of like fake died a little bit there?
I think they got pushed back by that hockey. I think that hockey undid their devil fruit shit.
Hockey?
I think it undid it.
You think it just undoes the seal and just shoots?
I think.
Yeah.
I think the hockey just pushed off whatever Eam coding ability power. It just repelled it off of them. On top of getting rid of the summoning circle, which was also in the area, and sending them back home. So everything that was related to Eam was just completely wiped off by that hockey. Like Joyboy was like the direct antithesis. You know what I mean? Like his hockey just was such an opposite power. It wiped off their power and sent them back home.
So I just think this is another level of Conqueror's hockey we haven't seen yet. It was clearly Conqueror's hockey. Obviously, it was clearly, Joyboy's hockey. Yes, Conqueror's hockey, I would assume. I think this is like the next level of Conqueror's hockey to be able to imbue it. But I think that this application in general is so powerful that it just shatters. I don't think that ability, like the summoning ability, is strong enough to deal with, I guess, that level of conqueror's haki. Kind of like how I guess haki would knock out people that their willpower isn't strong enough. The niggas that are around them would just be knocked out. This is powerful enough to shatter whatever ability Eam has. So that's why I think it's a devil fruit ability. I think this is like true one-to-one. Haki conquers a devil fruit. Eam's devil fruit isn't strong enough to overcome Joyboy's haki.
Right.
And that's probably why this nigga had to do whole shit, to really win in the first place. Because if he could really win in a one-to-one fight, he wouldn't have done all the scheming and planning and shit like that.
Right. And also, I think this haki might have been exclusive to Joyboy.
You think he's the only one?
Yeah, I think he was the only one who could either like not one pull off this feat and two and have this level of haki.
Level possibly, I agree. Yeah.
Level, I might agree with you. I think that the level is something no.
You think someone else can imbue haki in a rope?
I think this is the Black Blade stuff. I think this is how you get a Black Blade.
Damn near 1,000 years. Yeah.
I mean, it kind of happened, right? With like Odin and his swords admitting his haki when other people would use his swords or his techniques. It kind of like replicates his haki and his will.
On a lesser level, I think he was unconsciously doing that. Yeah.
Right.
But that sword is technically alive. If we're being,
I think all swords are. I think that's just the effect of Enma in particular. Enma's ability is just sucking.
And this nigga did it with a rope. You know what I mean? Like, is there sentimental? Like, is there like something special about this rope? Like, is it sea prism rope? What? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like there's no way he just grabbed a random rope, put mad hockey in it, and just said, "Here, robot." Like, you know what I mean? Like, it has to be something.
Hear me out. When we was on Weather Island, right? Remember when Nami, she separated from the rest of them? And that wizard in the island, he was showing her the weather ropes. He was popping the ropes. And every time he undid the rope, it was making a new weather effect happen, right? I think the rope in particular is just technology that's forgotten. And I also think that this haki technique is just something that the upper tiers have. But I think the rope is just the rope. I think I think it's ancient technology type shit. But I think it is just the rope. But I do think every application of the Black Blade shit, I'm convinced that the Black Blade shit has to do with this next level haki technique. Like imbuing conqueror's haki into objects, I think is how you get the Black Blade.
I think to take it even a step further, I think you're right. I think this is all one ability, right? The ability to imbue haki in something. It just comes at varying levels. But I think like what Joyboy did, this is obviously the peak level, right? So something that can last 800 years later, 900 years later. This is a special ability, right? That's special in and of itself. But I think the lesser ability of it is the lost art of like carving into like poneglyphs. What if it really is just your will just being translated, put into words?
I agree actually with the poneglyph shit. I do agree.
And that makes sense why people can't really read it. You have to kind of learn how to interpret someone's will. So unless you're a part of the three-eyed clan, which I'm guessing that's what the third eye can do, lets you interpret will, have the voice of all things, which lets you hear people's wills, and then or have the ability to, like the O'Harans, just
to decipher the word and shit like that.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
I mean,
that's what goes into that.
Yeah, it's
I agree, but I think it's the reverse. I think Joyboy had the top level of haki. I do, but I think this rope shit was like on the lower end of it. I just think it was his haki that was so overwhelming because it was a one-time use. It was a one-time use. It's one-time use. So you use it and it's up. Like it's a crazy blast. It is nuts, but you can't use it again. Like it's got to be the one time for the one time. I think the Black
he was just
Blade
doing that shit regularly.
He was just pulling that shit off. That's what I'm saying. I think when he was using it, he was using it. I think my next question is how that would work, I guess, in a fight. Is he imbuing, I guess, his sword? We know he's not a sword. That's what it is. What is he imbuing in a fight?
We know he's not a swordsman.
Free will, bro. That's why I think it's exclusive to Joyboy. It's this willpower combined with the devil fruit of just absolute freedom. He's imbuing items with his will,
which is freedom.
Yeah. And he's a lot like basically he has the freedom to do whatever he wants with it. If I wanted to last 1,000 years until somebody undoes this rope, so be it. Like he could do shit like that with his devil fruit ability and place any rules on something that he wants. Like if he wants to hold lightning, hold lightning.
He grabbed haki, he folded it into a rope, tied it into a knot, and said, "Hold this for 800
Hold this
years."
for 1,000 years.
If that's the case, Joyboy and Eam are at a level that we have never seen.
Yeah, you can't really do nothing about that. Then
It's a different level. Like
you can't really do nothing about that.
Because I think it is true that his haki is just on that level to like, but it's the maximization of will, and then his fruit is a maximization of freedom. You know what I mean? So with that freedom, he's allowed to do whatever he wants with his will.
I see the vision. I see it.
That's what I'm thinking. Because if anybody can do it, that's nuts.
If anybody can do it, I mean, I don't think anyone could just do that. That's the thing. Like that blast,
not on that level, but like
is very. I still think the reason why I related to the Black Blade is because how many niggas have we seen with the Black Blade action? It's just Mihawk, Ryuma, obviously, because he has shoe speed. Odin have it. Odin didn't have it. So just
that was the only two. Yeah,
Ryuma and Mihawk. I want to say even Whitebeard didn't have one. He had a legendary blade, but it wasn't
a supreme grade. Yeah, but not.
But it wasn't a black blade.
Even Roger's blade wasn't a black.
Wasn't a black blade. I think it takes a certain level. And the only reason why I'm again relating it to it, Ryuma is the undisputed, the strongest samurai in history. That's what people's going.
Well, the black blade is also it also correlates with like what the blade wants, right?
I think if the blade is compatible with the user on a certain level, it'll accept that person's haki flowing into them, I would say, consistently. And the only reason why I go with that theory is because Enma is constantly drawing out your haki. because it wants to draw somebody. It wants to draw out the fullest potential of somebody to see if they can use it consistently. I think other swords have different personalities, but I think it's all about accepting the flow of haki from the individual. And once the sword is like, all right, you know what? This nigga could really, really use me type shit. It could accept, I guess, whatever kind of haki deal that is. But I think you have to, the criteria is you have to have conquerors. I think that's undisputed now. I don't think there's any way you can have a black blade and not have conquerors haki at this point.
Yeah. Because if you think about conquerors in like the literal sense, you're essentially conquering your blade.
You're conquering the blade. You know what I'm saying?
It's more than conquering your blade because you can't tell me Roger couldn't conquer his blade.
But what if that's not his main ability though? I don't think Roger. We only saw him box for a little bit. We haven't really seen him like just throw hands. That's why I think
what if he's not a swordsman? What if
he was just doing what he was doing
for fun?
I think he just do what he's doing. What about Whitebeard? Whitebeard had a legendary sword. He had a legendary Basento, whatever the fuck it is. That nigga, when it came down to it, he drop it. He start going hands for hands.
He's flipping
not.
So maybe Garp just had crazy hands and the sword was just around, party tricks. You feel me? Just having a good time.
I think he liked having options. I honestly think Shanks is a carbon copy of what Roger was, obviously minus the arm.
Yeah.
But like
minus 25% of the human body.
He's got 75% of the man in him, right?
I'm gonna have to give him some pushback there. I'm gonna have to give him some pushback there. I would normally stop and allow you to sketch that. But I can't because
I think the 25 missing is what's missing. He's missing.
Nah. That's a whole lot. Because I think, right? If you want to get into my
eye when he went to see the Gorosei members, bro, it's a brother.
Wasn't him? That was his twin brother.
It's pulling the twin brother.
Oh no, I think they both
the real red rat. We're pulling the theories out.
If I'm gonna be real, let's just say, right, that straw hat has been passed down from will holder of the Will of D to Shanks to another Will of D member, right? Yeah. What if Shanks's aura, because it was imbued in that hat? Joyboy had that hat, imbuing some of his aura, some of his power in there, passed it down. Go. Generations of real niggas had that hat. Generations of it.
Okay.
Of just realness. Right. Just had that straw hat. And then by accident, Roger gave it to Shanks. Meaning to give it to Buggy, because Buggy is way more of a real nigga than Shanks. I'm just saying that.
Buggy really than Shanks.
Buggy stood on way more business in my eyes than Shanks.
Buggy straight faced walked outside with a nigga on his crew on a unicycle, bro. We can't do this. We're not doing this. Nah. Standing on business. Standing on a unicycle.
Yeah, because nobody's taking you serious as soon as you step outside. You got a nigga on a unicycle, a
That's
lion,
dedication.
and somebody else was you yourself are wearing a bright red nose. Nobody's taking you out serious.
Dedication to the craft.
But that, yeah, exactly. You standing on it. Buggy the Clown.
He did stand on it.
Buggy the Clown. Now he's a Yonko. Big Yonko.
I mean, Shank's been standing on Yonko behavior. I don't like.
That's
I feel
because
like
he had the
pretty
hat.
consistent.
He had the hat. He had the hat.
He had the hat.
And his daddy had
As soon as
his
he put
back.
the hat down,
And
it's hard
that's
to come.
listen. The dad was like, "Yo, listen, I will make you a Yonko. I'll do it. But that little straw hat shit you got running around with, leave it behind. Drop the hat." And the moment he dropped the hat, he became a Yonko.
Mm-hmm.
So
this is canon.
I give the Shanks twin theory a little credence only because one and that last final panel with all the major players of the One Piece, and we had that blacked out nigga with the sword handle that looked, you know,
it was Shanks
looking
brother.
like a little bit of a, it's looking like a god nice sword handle. We already saw Fingerlin, so they would, you know, why would they hide him type shit? I think
they have the fucking the hand guards.
Got the hand guard over the what do you call it? The hill.
I'm saying that the picture that was Shanks that y'all think is Shanks was actually his twin brother. It's not even him that's really the player. Shanks is a bump.
Shanks is
standard. What's this?
Shanks
Shanks
low key.
You're gonna see the real one. Yeah, he's a silk.
I think Shanks is going down. Obviously,
yeah,
he's getting claps. He's getting clapped sooner or later. I think we're gonna see a lot more Shanks moments coming up. Especially now we're leaving Egghead. Egghead's done. Niggas are saying they don't think it's done. Egghead's over. The Gorosei, there's no immediate threat.
Laughtale is gonna be a free for all. That's what Laughtale is gonna be a free for all. They wouldn't establish that all these players have potential to change the world when they find the One Piece. I think the order is Buggy, Shanks, Luffy, and Blackbeard shows up last and holds everybody.
I think Luffy's getting there first. I think Blackbeard's gonna be just following him because Luffy's the only one who hasn't been robbed yet, and he's actively going after that fourth piece.
But they also got like other goals that they're working on too. I don't think they're gonna just go straight to Laughtale like Buggy or like Shanks might have the time to do because we're fucking with Shanks on the way there.
What would move the what's their goal right now?
Whatever's happening on Elbaf, they're probably gonna discover another ancient weapon. They got the giants to, you know, figure out what their crew is going to be for that last push, whatever happens in the case there. But I think they got one more kind of arc before they hit Laughtale. And I think that Buggy and Shanks don't have any other goals aside from find the One Piece. So they find it first and they have their little quarrel as, you know, ex-Roger members and their beef. And it might turn out to be a fight and we get to see the Mihawk Shanks fight. And then I see Blackbeard and Luffy show up. Blackbeard has every devil fruit he's been hunting this whole time, you know, ready for the final fight. Luffy has, you know, all the information about ancient weapons and how to change the world and make his dream come true and shit. They all show up and they all duke it out, and Blackbeard holds everybody. Blackbeard holds everybody is just going to be borderline basis of what I think Laughtale is going to be as a whole.
I think Shanks not even going to make it to the end. I think he's getting I genuinely think I think Luffy is gonna just miss Shanks. They're gonna just miss each other again. They're gonna just miss each other. Luffy's gonna write it off. It just, you know, it's not meant to be right now. And Shanks, wherever he's going, he might even be going after Blackbeard. Shanks might feel like he could go after Blackbeard at this point. Either that, because who else is there to rob? Who else is there to really rob? You know what I'm saying? Like, he wants his get back too.
Why go after your L though? Like, because he goes after Blackbeard, he dies in that arc. That's it.
It might not be his intention, but he might come across him because they might have similar goals. They might, you know, who knows what Aokiji's real goal is. So these niggas just might end up crossing paths. If they're all searching for the One Piece at this point. There's only a few more islands in the New World really left, I would say, that have any real relation to where they have to get to. So I think niggas is gonna start interfering with each other sooner than later. Shanks is gonna get wiped out. That's a major faction off the board right there. I think we're gonna get some revolutionary moment too, because we have to see some kind of. There's gonna be
Dragon was in that final panel, so we know he's a part of it.
I think Dragon's gonna be at Laughtale too.
I think he might not.
I think Dragon's gonna be at Laughtale to stop anyone he doesn't want to find the One Piece from getting the One Piece. I think that's gonna be Dragon's deal. Like, if you get the One Piece, you're gonna do some things to the world I don't like. So
I think they're gonna be too concerned with the ancient weapons. Honestly, I think they've taken this Vegapunk warning very seriously. Because now they're getting information. They got information that's like, oh, we got to do something type type shit.
Right, because
Yeah,
nobody,
so
the
that's
world at
happening.
large didn't know about the ancient weapons. It was really just like
It was very few
select few
people.
people, and it was a
Yeah.
rumor, never really confirmed.
The nobles, I would say, like the kings and the people in certain offices knew shit, but not,
right.
I would say,
For
real
the general
details.
public. Okay, so now we got a world race of people looking out for ancient weapons, right?
Yeah.
I think we're also gonna get a race of just Roger's crew members. I think people are gonna be looking for them, hunting them down, just to get information because y'all seen what's at the end. Y'all know what's really up. Like, what's up? Y'all know that the world is sinking. What can we do?
I feel like niggas might be in danger potentially. Rarely, maybe not so much, but niggas like with the whale potentially. I do think there's more of a Rogers crew that's alive. I do think so.
I do too.
Maybe Scott or Gabon, the nigga with the axes. He might be alive somewhere. I just think there's a lot more world building that's gonna happen now that the secrets of the real world government have kind of been laid bare, and then the snail got destroyed, obviously, in the last chapter. But pretty much everything that's been relevant has come out. Anyone who was skeptical before is now, not skeptical. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of Revolutionary Army movement now.
Can I ask you a quick question that just popped in my head? Because I laugh at this shit every time I think about this panel. What did y'all think about Kobe waking up from his coma?
He's not him. Listen.
I
don't know if y'all saw me
one
on
of the
Twitter.
4 strongest man on the seas right now. Let me stop the guy
living
that
their
beat
dream.
He's a total clown, and I honestly think he
my
should
day
be
one
shot.
friend, my first friend,
Right, the person who's consistently told you I'm gonna
the
be king
person
of the
that
pirates.
inspired you.
Now all
to
of a
go out
sudden,
and
him
do
being
your
king of
thing.
the pirates is an issue.
Worse than that, he just heard Vegapunk shit. He woke up from the coma, heard Vegapunk shit, heard all the nut shit that be happening. Said, "I gotta stop Luffy." That's it. That's gonna solve the world's problems.
That's how you. I gotta stop the government. Like I gotta. Like
maybe I gotta learn some more facts. No kind of like, you know what I'm saying? No introspection. He said,
so Kobe's
I gotta get in Luffy's way.
We're just gonna say Kobe's a bootlicker. We're just gonna put it out there.
Heavy.
Minus 5,000 aura for him.
To hear all that and think the Marines are still the good guys.
You've seen.
I know he saw Garp get clapped not too long ago. He did see that.
So go get that, and then go figure out what the government's doing. But like honestly, if I'm Kobe,
mind your business.
Honestly, if I'm Kobe, I'm minding my business. I'm going after the person that got rid of my mentor, which was supposed to be my other mentor, right? The other person I looked up to.
Word.
Let me just go deal with that first, and I'll let the world government figure this other shit.
Whole ocean.
That's better than Luffy. That's better than trying to go after fucking Luffy. That's crazy.
That's even worse. You've never come remotely close to beating Luffy. Like, not even like the tiniest hairs of the chance.
In seconds.
Never
every
came
time.
Close. Even
after
after
not
little
getting
time
close to Luffy. Yeah. He's lucky not even getting close. Crew stopping him.
Yeah.
And who you got with you? The dude with the swords, what's his name? That burger? He's always saying Helmeppo? That's who you bring into the club?
Folded.
Stop it, bro.
There's no squad that he's bringing that's actually doing any work against the Straw Hats at all.
Anything except for like trying to talk him down. And even then, Luffy's not gonna listen to your dumbass. Like, just mind your business.
Just got claiming over there talking about, yo, chill, y'all wilding right now in the world. Please stop. That's all they're doing right now.
You want to go fight another Yonko? We just got clapped by a Yonko crew. You want to go fight another Yonko?
We didn't even see the Yonko. We got clapped by one of the underbosses. We didn't even see him.
Y'all got clapped by first captain, and fucking vice captain of the crew.
Nuts. That's unfortunate. And y'all want to go
That's
where?
rough.
And attack who?
Fight the only nigga to beat Kaido in a 1v1 in 60 years? Like, that's like, what do you?
They got Jinbei and Zoro. Shut up. Stop talking.
Shut up.
Why
you want to get Fishman slapped so bad?
I gotta ask the question. Is there anything that can happen to Kobe from now until the end of the series that can put him on Luffy's level?
If he puts down like a worst generation member, like if Kid comes back and Kid is like going berserk or some shit like that,
that's
and
not
he puts
enough
down
points.
Kid.
It's
not enough. No. But I at least I look at him as a threat that could take down or at least hurt a Yonko. Because you have to remember, Kid is capable of hurting a Yonko. That's not disputed. He was able of hurting Big Mom. I think Big Mom is the weakest Yonko. I know we all put her in that category. Every admiral should be able to beat her. Yes, but her durability is still on a Yonko caliber.
Not Frogo. Not Frogo. He's the only admiral that's not beating Big Mom. And a 1v1,
I wonder.
You can't convince me of it.
I wonder because it's not like he would have anything to gain by fighting Shanks. He would 100% lose fighting Shanks. And then getting jumped by Shanks and then potentially whoever's in front of him, Yamato, it wouldn't be a good favorable situation for him either way. And the Straw Hats are sitting over there on the cliff. It wasn't gonna go well.
Struggling with Yamato. If it wasn't for Momo telling Yamato to sit this one out, who knows how he would have even dealt with Yamato. I don't think he can touch Big Mom.
I think he would have beat Yamato.
It would have been a very difficult fight. And if you're having an extremely difficult fight like that with Yamato, you're not beating Big Mom.
We got to see a Logia awakening for me to be able to take, I would say, certain things seriously. I need to see a Logia awakening personally. Because if he had a Logia awakening, we have not seen any. No. I would have to assume he is as an admiral.
The assumption is
all the admirals have.
The
assumption is Punk Hazard is what it looks like after you awaken in the Logia.
Yes, like it affects the entire environment and all that shit.
Right.
Like,
that's what he was doing on Wano, in my opinion.
But it didn't stay like that. You know what I mean? Like it would, like Punk Hazard is forever half hot, half cold.
I think it's more of a side effect of just his ability, whatever. Because Wano is green now. He did regrow a lot of the
But yeah, like you plant a tree one time. It's not like he's, how do I put it? It's not like he's guaranteeing that there will always be a lush forest over Wano. Yeah. They have to actively come back and tend to those bushes and shit. Like if he's awakened, I think it's gonna be like hidden in the leaf,
like permanent situation. Wildlife.
Like like a forest. No matter how much you trim it down, it's gonna keep coming back. Yeah. Or like shit that never had any life that was
like barren. A rock. He's gonna turn a rock into a tree type shit. Like,
right. I think or like a desert becomes like this crazy forest now because it can hold life. Shit like that. I think that's what his awakening would look like. This, I think, was just like a side effect, like you said. Like just
I don't think it was fully. I don't think he was using it at least. I don't think he was just using his awakened ability. I mean, honestly, it's just at this endgame stage. I think they all got to be awakened. What happened?
Yeah. I was saying he had a bunch of like side abilities, like a partial immunity to fire, like the what was it? There's another ability he had, but I have to
fire ability is kind of busted too. It's really useful.
It is, but I mean, you struggling with medium level haki. I don't know.
I mean, Yamato's using advanced conqueror's coding blows. It's hurting regardless. Whoever you are, those blows.
Was it conqueror's coding or was it like just Rio?
I thought it was Yamato is definitely conqueror's coding. I think she's definitely using conqueror's coding haki.
I know when she uses her Thunder Bagua or whatever her version of it is called. That's definitely, I can say, is definitely conqueror's coding. But it just felt like everything else was more like heavy ornament. Because Kaido was eating it on like he didn't even feel it.
So I think, if honestly, my biggest critique of One Piece in general is that it's not clear when certain abilities are being used. Because I think that there's a lot of times where you want to believe that certain people are doing certain things, or there's even times Black Lightning was used when people weren't, like, it was not conqueror's haki like users type shit. You know what I'm saying? So I really do have a lot of questions about that. So I mean, benefit of the doubt, I don't know. I can't say in a lot of situations.
I think judging by the effect on Kaido, it might have just been like conquerors, but not coding. The same way Luffy was fighting Katakuri, like he had conquerors already, but he couldn't figure out how to coat his actual armament with it just yet. I don't think they got there like to that level just yet of actually putting like coating conquerors over their regular armament, or else it probably would have hurt Kaido. Like
I honestly think most of the characters are stupid, to be honest with you, because they don't. If I'm being honest, like straight up honest with you, like I think most of them are stupid because they don't use their strongest attacks from the beginning on some Goku shit, and that's a part of Goku's character, kind of like he's a slow starter. But other characters will go like Super Saiyan immediately and start fighting you on some shit. It doesn't make sense in One Piece to me sometimes why like
To be fair, Luffy as of late has been doing it. He'll just
He has
open up
jumped
with
into
a
gear
gear
fifth.
4,
He
gear
has
5.
He has jumped into gear fifth. He has jumped into gear
The
fifth.
nigga went
But
gear 4th on niggas like regular Navy soldiers before for no reason. Like he didn't need to do it.
he definitely is. He's having fun with gear
It's
fifth.
the
I'll give
fodder
you that.
buster now.
He's definitely having fun with gear fifth. But he has a history of just, to me, not doing his best until needed as well in fights. Or not using his best moves until needed in fights. And like when he fought Dofi, he didn't pull out gear 4th until the very fucking end. And he should have honestly pulled it before. He should have opened up with gear 5.
I would have touched down in gear 4. Like I ton of box, nigga. Like,
Let's go. Soften him up real quick.
To be fair, like his best hits put him out of commission for 10, 15 minutes.
It don't matter because Dofi, here's the crazy part about it. If he would have pulled up on gear 4th, Dofi would have not took it seriously, and Luffy could have one-shotted him.
I think he would have gotten hit really hard a lot, actually. I think he would have gotten like combo.
Yeah.
He could have 15, 30 pieced them right then and there. Dofi would have had no chance to recover, react. He could have ended Dressrosa before Birdcage really was like really wilding out. He could have ended it way, way, way early.
And then even if it wasn't enough, Law would be right there.
Finish him off.
That's my thing. Law would be right there. So I don't know. I definitely think that this situations. I mean, just even in Egghead, like when he was fighting Kizaru, when he was in gear 5th, he wasn't using haki a lot of the time. Like there's times where it'll signify that he's using haki, and I'm like, why wouldn't he use haki in this situation? Why would that not be?
I mean, a gear 5th punch looks like it's strong enough that it doesn't really matter, right? You don't. Really
but he's a low gear user. I'm putting haki on it to make sure that extra. I'm trying to put you down type shit. I'm trying to make sure I hurt
it, even though it wasn't haki coated punches. Kizaru felt them still.
But that leads me to say, okay, no, then he has to be using haki because how could he touch him if he wasn't using haki at all? And it's not signified enough.
Those white clouds. I think that's just because the same thing with Rob Lucci, like those clouds that form around him. I think that was just like a level of haki, and like them being white is just like maybe like the peak of it. I'm not too sure. I know the clouds have something to do with it, but
I think the clouds is just that's the consequence of having a zone awakening. I think the whiteness or the blackness might depend on like your purity as a person. Like Rob Lucci's an evil nigga. And he's the only thing we've seen with black clouds. He's the only nigga that we've seen with like straight up black clouds. I don't even think. Let me see. Was Kaku's clouds black when he was awakened?
I don't remember Kaku even having clouds.
Kaku was awakened. He had clouds on his shit. Let me see. No, Kaku's are black too. And those are the only two that we've seen. So that makes me think either they didn't really awaken it in a normal way. They might have found a way to force it out, maybe potentially. Because remember, also, most zones don't awaken that way. Like it's very rare for zones to awaken. It could be that being a mythical zone has that white property because Yamato had that white.
Well, isn't it because like to awaken your fruit, your mind and your body have to catch up to the devil fruit, essentially.
Yeah.
Right? Everything has to be on the same page.
Yeah.
So for like a zone fruit, it's probably fucking difficult to catch up to a leopard or a giraffe. You know what I mean? Like, so they did probably take a shortcut physically or however they did it. I think with some EAM assistance.
It's just a little bit different. We never seen the black shit. It might be a purity thing. It could be some shit like that, or it could just be that because they're not mythical zones.
And also the white clouds.
They don't get the white clouds because it's also super rare that zones awaken anyways. Most of the time they turn into like the impelled down jailers. Like those were awakened zones too. They confirmed it, but they just lost.
But they didn't
lost
have full control. Yeah, they went mindless.
So it could just be that the mythical versus regular zones is different type shit. But
when Doflamingo and Katakuri used their awakening, was there clouds around it?
Nope. The Paramecius. So I think it's just I genuinely think it's specific to zone users. Like it's when they awaken, they get the cloud because it's like, I don't know. I think it's I think all zone users, right? I think they all might have like the ability to be just like next level fighters type shit, but it's just super rare. It's super rare to get to that point. Because to be an animal, you have to have some willpower or at least some kind of like mind or mindset if you're aggressive or whether you're passive, docile. And Vegapunk even said it. Zones are the only ones with like,
will of their own.
Yeah, like a will of their own type shit. So I do think it has some kind of specific properties that make them different.
Which I mean, just saying that out loud just kind of gave me an idea. Tying back into what we was talking about earlier with like imbuing in hockey. What if like because a devil fruit is an extension of somebody's will, right? Their desire, their goal, right? What if there's basically two trees you go or two pathways you could have walked down? And it's probably the split between the decline, right? Where one side is using the devil fruit will, where their desire, whatever it is, manifests itself in the devil fruit, and then you go down this pathway, but you sacrifice something else to get this ability, which is your ability to be in the ocean, be one with the world, whatever, right? And then the other one is the haki willpower, which allows you to kind of counteract things that are out of the natural, out of the norm, and kind of let you reset the status quo. Because if you think about it, the little hockey rope shit was just a big reset button, honestly.
Pretty much undid that fuck shit.
Yeah.
Like sent them niggas home. Send them boys to Cancun. Yeah. I just think they're two sides of the same coin, like you said. Like I think it's like you have to be able to understand one fully in order to be, I guess, like at the true peak of the shit. I think that's why there's nobody who's really been. I really think Roger. I know he's strong, but I don't think he was as strong as Joyboy. I think Joyboy was like truly like on an unfathomable level. I think he had the Nika fruit. I think he had the Nika fruit, but I think he was just even beyond that fruit. I think this nigga's stronger than Luffy right now. Like, I still think Kaido is stronger than Luffy. I still think Shanks is probably stronger than Luffy. I'm telling you, I do not think Kizaru was straight up like. I think he was kind of selling that shit. I'll be real with you. I think Kizaru was kind of selling that shit. And I honestly, of reading it back, looking back, I do not think they were fighting fully seriously.
Be there.
I think there is part of it. He didn't want to be there. I do think that was a big portion of it. I don't think he wanted to kill Vegapunk. I think he really felt the type of way about the whole
scenario. Or Sentomaru.
Right, yeah. He didn't want to touch any of them. Bonnie, Vegapunk, Sentomaru, Kuma. He didn't want none of them to die. But understood, like, you know, this is my job. This is what I got to do. So I do think he sold it just a little bit, but I think he really did get touched up enough where he was just like, yeah, I'm going to sit this one out. Like, he could have got back up and fought, but I know I'm not going to win this fight. So why bother?
I want to see an Admiral fight. I want to see them move and go against, you know, maybe if not another Admiral in a situation like Aokiji versus Kizaru or some shit like that, then maybe Aokiji versus. I mean, we kind of got it with Aokiji versus Garp. We kind of got it, but it's hard to scale because they kind of jumped this thing. Like it wasn't really like it was a 1-to-1 fight,
and it was old Garp, which I mean,
I'm not gonna lie to you.
Old
Garp is a demon. That nigga is a confirmed. He's. I don't know. That nigga is a problem. I think he's a problem for most fighters. I don't know if many people would stand in the way of that nigga, or at least his offense.
Out of curiosity, do you think he had another Galaxy impact at him?
Yes.
You think he could have pulled another one out?
At which point of the fight? After he got like, hurt, like he got snuck?
Like, yeah, after he got maybe not even at that point. Let's say right before that point, if he wanted to counter with a Galaxy impact.
If nothing happened, if Garp didn't get snuck, like if they didn't pull that whole scheme, I think it's a different fight.
I'm saying the fight goes exactly the same up until the moment he's about to get invisibly stabbed, and then he Galaxy impacts. You think he has the same level of Galaxy impact?
I think so. I think the only reason he got stabbed is because of Kobe's bitch ass.
Yeah, like I do not think. If that situation doesn't play out like that, you take the whole factor out of it, right? You take the invisible stab out of it. Kobe doesn't get used as, you know, leverage, whatever. I don't think he loses that fight. I'm not sure if he loses that fight. If he stands in front of Aokiji, I think he takes the rest of the crew. I think he takes the rest of the crew, and then he has a.
I agree with you on that part. I do think him versus the rest of the crew is not a real fight, honestly. I think he washed them pretty easily. I think 1-on-1, him and Aokiji, he can beat.
That's when I have a different situation. I'm not sure if he wins in his own.
I think just straight up 1-on-1, no extra stuff. I think Garp can do it.
I think it's a really rough fight.
I think Aokiji could have done him worse, to be honest, during that fight, in my opinion, because I think he could have tried to freeze him completely from the get go. From the get go, he could have tried to flash freeze him. I don't know if it would have worked because Garp is a real hockey man. I don't know how effective it would have been, but I do think he
broke out, but he would have got tired after.
That's
a while.
What I'm saying.
Like,
at what point?
Back to back,
at what point is it going to be? We're talking about an awakened Logia. I wonder how much he could take in his old age after fighting 3 niggas that aren't bums completely. You know what I'm saying? I wonder.
If he doesn't have the capacity to one-shot him after the fact, it's really not going well.
I don't think anyone's one-shotting Aokiji at this stage.
No,
I think Aokiji doesn't get one-shot.
Yeah, he's in the
Do you think he's still in his prime?
Yeah. Even lost a leg. I think he's probably stronger than he was when he fought Aokiji. I mean, Kainu 2 years ago.
I'm not going that far. I don't think
I would say so.
I think he is.
I
think both of them are stronger.
Yeah. I think they both like that fight made them like move with their devil fruits a lot differently. I think because after that fight, I think their devil fruit control got just like insane after that. Because I
hope he leans into that hockey because he just has the type disadvantage. Pokemon shit, straight up. He just has the type disadvantage. Magma versus Ice, it's not looking pretty, honestly. So the fact that he was able to fight this nigga for a week is crazy. I do think it's nuts, but I think his hockey would have to have improved a lot in order to really stand a chance against.
I can give you the hockey improvement. I can see that. Honestly, I didn't think about
that. That's what I think was I have to think that was.
I can see the hockey improvement. I can see maybe some confidence on both sides improving. But I don't think Kuzan is stronger. Like, barring a hockey improvement, I don't think the confidence in the IQ made him that much stronger.
I don't even know if it was. I truly think the difference was.
If it's hockey, then you're right. If it's pure hockey, then I can see that.
I do think that was I still think Sakazuki is stronger though. I still do think that
for sure.
Fleet Admiral, I still do think he's stronger than him just by consequence.
Do y'all think Kong is stronger than Akainu?
I think we've reached the peak. I think this is the last era of piracy before this era that started was strong, but I think this is the strongest current era of pirates. They managed to take down Kaido, they managed to take down Big Mom. Nika is in the factor. Just the fact that we got Gear 5th Luffy in the factor is crazy. We still got Shanks moving out.
Playing pirate. Yep.
God Knight outside. Mihawk is outside. There's a lot of. I think this is an unprecedentedly very strong period of time. So I think the level of the Marines is also risen considerably, at least on the top. That's why I think they want Kobe to be that difference maker, even though I don't believe in this thing at all. I don't see him being stronger than Garp, even though I know that's what he has to do in order to compete in the end game.
He needs a time skip. I don't think we'll ever see in real time Kobe get to that strength reasonably. Yeah. If he does, it's
without some plot. Yeah. Or some plot behind him.
He got to fight. I think he has to get into some real conflicts in the meantime. That's why we're going to see more interaction, I think, of other worlds and other.
I still question who can he actually fight.
Who's a doable fight for Kobe?
Right, like in this time period where it's doable, which you can see the increases.
They go after Blackbeard's crew again. Maybe they're constantly targeting. Maybe they're chasing Blackbeard.
There's going to be another prison break. Maybe he ends up fighting Dofi.
Ooh, that's a good fight.
That's a good fight. If he beats Dofi, I wouldn't believe it, but that's a good fight.
That's a good fight.
If he beats Dofi, that would be a reason to put him up there. I would not in the top tiers, but Sabo level maybe.
Sabo level. I mean, Sabo, that's disrespectful.
Right, I think Sabo's crazy. That was crazy.
Doflamingo?
Nah, no, don't sneak in that little Sabo.
Doflamingo's a burger compared to Sabo.
That was crazy.
Yeah, Doflamingo's a burger compared to Sabo.
Damn, how high I got Sabo? I don't see Sabo that really he's strong, but I don't see him as that high on the list. I'd say him and Dofi are probably around the same tier.
The story kept him away from Doflamingo and Dressrosa because he would have ended Doflamingo. That was Luffy's.
Kept him away from Fujitora.
Yeah, it was. I think he would have lost to Fujitora. I don't think he would have.
Right then and there, he would have lost. But it implied it would have been a tough enough. Nah, wait. Before I even get to that point, He survived getting jumped by Imu and Gorosei Dolly.
Yeah, you can't. Come on, Sabo.
Wait a minute.
Sabo is like,
he is. What do you mean?
He got stabbed before that though. He was freshly poked. That's a cripple with adrenaline. That nigga popped
he
up.
Was done. He got stabbed the one time, and he was like, "Oh no, I can't take this." And then Nefertari Cobra had to stand up out of a wheelchair and go, "I got you, OG. Get up out of here." Nah.
That boy got his kidney popped.
He got his kidney popped. And hey, I'm not gonna lie, he failed the mission. Right, Cobra is definitely dead. Sabo did not save him. To be fair, Sabo could have never saved him.
There was no way.
To be fair, I don't think Sabo tried to do it correctly.
Right. I don't even think Sabo even was 100% all in on the saving Cobra plan.
He did not know.
He just kind of just
were in the building and he just upped it. He just started airing out the block and didn't work.
He thought it was gonna work. He did. He thought they were just old niggas. He said, "Fuck these niggas, bro." He said, "Watch this." Wow. But it didn't work.
A bunch of old rich niggas upstairs. Get off that chair, bro.
Shit's the 2024 Olympic.
It's not how it went down. It was
fucking Curry, Katie, and Braun just sitting there at the other end. Like, easy boy.
That shit, I know he felt crazy seeing
Rob Donovich.
Rudy comes out the back.
Oh nah, nigga said Boban. That shit is he felt crazy. I know he was just staring up in disbelief. He saw them niggas transform. He said, "Oh shit!"
He said, "This is the wrong room. This is the
they transformed into some." That's what you really got to understand. Like we've seen them transform on Egghead on this wiped out, landscape, and it was giant, massive beings that even the giant was like, "What the fuck is that?" Sabo stood 10 toes down with a paraplegic next to him and was just like, he looked up at them and was like, "I'm gonna get you out of here." He capped, but he looked up and he said that. Like he had the heart.
He tried.
He had the heart.
The
intention was there.
Man got shot one time and said, "Yo, Nefertari, I can't do this, bro."
They crowded him in that room. Think about how big they are in that fucking room they was in. He got crowded immediately. He said, "Oh,
gymnasium."
He's
like, "Inside indoors."
This nigga got crowded. He said, "This
like,
is
first
nuts.
off, why is he a worm?"
That shit must be crazy. The bird can't even open his wings
immediately.
Ethan's just galloping around.
I'm honestly mad as fuck that shit happened to me, dog.
Sabo was out the room when he got hit. Like he ran immediately. He saw that shit.
Because he's seen some bullshit. Like you've seen them transform into.
Imagine
once Jay Garcia starts turning into a spider, starts tweaking out and flips into the ceiling, I'm leaving. I'm out of the room too.
He ran.
Imagine the panel of them in front of Luffy when he was in Gear Fifth. They're massive. Like they're huge. They're massive.
Yeah.
That nigga standing in front of them, all 5 of them, and Eam is behind you too. Dog.
Eam is just a shark creature in the back. He wasn't even in his form when he's attacked them.
This nigga Sabo said, "I'm in hell." Nigga said, "I am in hell."
Did I die? What is going on?
Oh nah. That's really the
craziest
scenario. That's the craziest scenario. I gotta give Sabo his props.
That's what I'm saying, man. Sabo.
He lost aura points getting dragged out the room by a cripple, bro. I'm sorry. You made a man that can't walk again to protect your.
You had to be there. You had to be there. You had to be there. That was one of them. You had to be there moments, dog.
You wasn't there. You don't know what it felt like.
You don't know.
Because that shit was happening to every character in One Piece. Every character in One Piece was getting done like that. I'm not gonna lie to you. That's crazy.
There's only one character I'm banking on to stand on business and even stand up after attack like that, and that's Kaido. And even still, he's coughing up blood. He's bleeding out immediately. He needs help. He's
drinking while it happens.
ASAP.
They're jumping.
He's too drunk to feel it. They better get that gourd off him immediately. The alcoholism is a buff.
Borrow breath immediately. Borrow breath immediately in the room.
Immediately.
I'm going crazy.
Nah, what? As soon as they start transforming, Kaido's like, "Oh, we're transforming. Okay. I'm a giant dragon." Like, what are you talking about?
No,
bro?
You don't turn into burger mode if you see all of that. Giant dragon, this is burger mode.
Giant dragon. You said Giant Dragon is burger mode? He's not going hybrid form against giant Ethan bird horse. Nah,
ain't gonna
no
lie.
way.
You might have to go
He's
hybrid
getting
immediately.
folded.
You might have to go
You
hybrid
gotta
immediately.
open up a hybrid.
You gotta come in the room with a
immediately start
Ragnarok.
drinking. Yes. A drunk
Come in the room
Ragnarok to open the
swinging
door.
already, halfway in the room.
Hope you just
Whoever
fly
hit
by
it, hit.
and clip Eam in by accident. Just hope that, and then just end this nightmare. Hope that
You
Eam
gotta
is just
kill
not
Garcia
him
first. Kill Garcia first. You go
You
for the
have
burger first. Go for the biggest burger first.
It's the easiest kill. Dwindle the
That's the
numbers.
worm one then. That's the biggest burger.
Oh,
The
I
worm
don't know.
one.
That's
Garcia
burger number 2.
Yeah, he's burger
Nah.
number 2. He's burger
bad in
number
his-
2.
He's bad in his monster form, but he gets shit done in his human form. That's the thing. He actually does the paperwork. Jay
He's an
Garcia is
accountant.
not doing shit.
Yeah.
I got you.
Jay Garcia is not doing.
No
He's not doing
science,
science.
none
Not
of
doing
that shit,
paperwork.
bro.
Not doing any backup checks on niggas he let just go. Like, nah, bro. He's burger in both
Dog.
forms, and then he's getting palmed by the face by fucking.
He got
Burger
mushed
number
several
one
times.
pop.
Nigga got
He was
mushed.
looking outside like, bro, you're representing me right now. You letting the block is not. We're not like this. You
I'm
can't
not gonna lie.
let this happen.
He's not even mad at the other Gorosei members. He's saying it like y'all did your thing, right? Who knew he still had that 800-year-old haki?
Who knew?
Garcia, you though. We're gonna have to talk later.
Dog,
We're
he got
outsourcing
mushed by
your work
several
immediately.
people. Several
We're-
people mushed this nigga. Several people mushed this nigga.
I thought you was a man of science first and foremost.
Where's your defense? None of that shit.
Jason Garcia is like, I know nothing about science. I never knew anything about science. I'm sorry. I just needed a job.
Nigga got me fucked up, bro. Garcia. He got mushed by like 10 niggas on the island.
I had
Everybody.
a family. I got
Everybody
8
punched
wives.
this nigga.
I have
Nah,
bills to
bro.
pay. Eam. You have to understand. I had to lie.
He's about to get the whole Gorosei doxxed because he got his fucking info stolen. Like,
Genuinely,
come on, bro.
genuinely. Nigga lying on Indeed. Lying on Indeed, bro.
Indeed, crazy.
That's,
Forgery.
Oh my god, bro.
What is man
Nigga
on?
got pickpocketed. First time outside in 100 years.
First time
Get jumped, knocked out, and pickpocketed.
Like what they honestly did not succeed in nothing. Vegapunk got away, Straw Hats got away, all types of shit, man.
Ben
Oh.
Garcia's
Giants
gonna
pulled up.
show back up at Mary Dwell, like, bro, y'all seen my social? Yeah.
He can't go
seen-
home. He's a wanderer. He's a wanderer from now on. He's wandering the seas, man. That's
He's
it.
not even a
Pattern,
citizen
walk around.
anymore, bro. He lost
walking-
everything.
Eam, my key card's not working. Eam said I'm a police. I can't
If
get
he
into the
goes
break
back,
room.
he has no sense of survival, man. He has
Man
no,
said,
he has
if
no
anybody
survival.
lets Jay Garcia in the building, I'll kill you myself.
You're
Don't-
all dying. People are dying yelling at the
You're
nigga
all
inside, bro.
dying. Do
Take the
not let
next
that
3
man in the building
generations.
ever again.
Never.
He's banned.
That shit is tragic, man. He's just standing there. What cooked me is he's just standing there looking at the robot. I'm like, bro, it's over. Like you fucking they're gone.
Boy,
Nigga
standing
did his
there
thing.
hitting the Kevin James like,
Yeah, like he just standing there in the kitchen. Bro, it's over. It's
Like, put the
fucking
rest of the
over.
cup down, bro. The party's over. It's done. You
Yeah,
had your
get
years of
angry.
bigotry. You had your years of slavery and bigotry. You lived it. You feel me?
Bro.
That's all you wanted the position for, to own slaves, because that's obviously what you feel strongly about, not science. So
Yeah, but I was like,
you got
He
folded.
came in immediately making excuses, talking about like, oh yeah, that's Sneaker. Off rip. He wasn't even standing on business for the jump. Like, oh yeah, that's Sun God. I understand why you felt like that. He didn't
Then
even
he
hold
saw
his
two
name
sun gods, and he's like, nah, that's not real. That can't be real.
that can't be right. That can't be who it is for
hallucinating.
real.
Get-
Y'all saw the bounty poster, bitch. You saw the poster.
You knew what time it was. Don't act like you ain't know.
He knew Luffy.
I mean,
was real.
that's-
It was
that's
the
what makes me
Bonnie when
wonder.
He was really tripping out.
These niggas might be new.
Bro.
These niggas might not be the original. It might just be like certain families in the celestial lineage that get like the passed on because
The great,
ain't no way.
grandsons.
Yeah, ain't no way this nigga the original. He couldn't have been an original cohort. Ain't no way, dog.
They're
This
just
nigga,
Boofing years of
He
oppression,
was
bro.
the
Just
first
dropping
one
the
to
ball.
Figure out that the mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell. He was the
And that's
first
it.
one,
Man of science.
and then that was
There
it.
it is. You're the leader of our science department.
bum ass.
Don't worry
nigga,
about if you
man.
can fight or not.
Nigga taught them Pythagorean's theorem, and that was it. He was cooking
Mm-hmm.
science.
No hands. No hands.
Done.
Any
Six
predictions
legs, no
about
hands.
next week?
I think we're leaving Egghead. I think Eam is gonna get off his knees. He's done twerking for now. And
I don't think he's done.
you don't
I
think
think
you think he's still going?
I think he's still going. He's got another
payment.
half a day to work that shit out. A lot went wrong today. He's just getting it out of the system.
He's got a back spasm going on now from that blast.
Just working it out.
I think we might get some lore. We might get some lore on what's really going on with Luffy, because the Giants are there now, and I think they've been nonstop talking about Nika. Vegapunk is also there, obviously, so he's dying, but Lilith is alive still. I think she's the only one that managed to make it. But I think we're gonna get some information on certain aspects of the world now that Vegapunk's announcement is over. The Giants heard certain shit too. But I think if anything, if after this chapter and maybe after the next chapter, then I think we might get some world perspective on shit that's going on outside of it, because bounties are definitely going up. Probably within the next chapter. You gotta think, man.
Much stuff happening right now in the world. I don't think we're gonna get a bounty update.
They just walked away from the Gorosei. They beat a Buster Call for the second time, right? They beat a Buster Call for the second time in history, right? They kidnapped Vegapunk allegedly, apparently, right? They showed up. They pretty much stood toe to toe with the top of the world government for the most part, the crew. They not only did that, they dispatched of CP0, right? They captured CP0, defeated CP0 again. What else? They learned some more information. They did a lot. This is and how it looks to the world too. Even though they heard Vegapunk's announcement, all this shit happened is gonna look like it happened during all this shit.
Yeah,
because Luffy killed. It's just gonna look crazy. All this shit is gonna look nuts. So I could definitely see a bounty increase. Luffy's gonna be sitting probably at 4 billion. Zoro is definitely gonna get an increase for defeating Rob Lucci.
Sanji should get a decrease for failing the mission yet again.
I think we might see I think it might just be
the world government.
It might just be Luffy and Zoro who get
and Jinbei.
And Jinbei did show up.
There was about 4 Straw Hats that put in work this whole arc, and it was Luffy, Zoro, Jinbei, and Frankie for keeping it a being.
Yeah.
That is true. That's the 4.
So
if just those 4 get an increase, I'm cool.
I don't think the government gives enough of a. I think the crew might not get proper bounty raises until a more detailed situation plays out. I think that's when we're going to see the full crew get or maybe most of the crew get a bounty raise. But I think, and this is how the world this is how the world is going to start to frame it. Luffy and Zoro are going to start to separate themselves in a certain category, kind of like how Roger and Rayleigh did. Rayleigh had his own epithet. It was the Dark King Rayleigh. I think they're going to start to separate themselves in terms of strength from the rest of the crew. And they're going to start to get separate incremental raises, especially because of how they handled this. I would say most of the conflict in this arc, it was pretty much just Luffy and Zoro tag team and everything in terms of conflict on the on the island.
Sanji didn't do anything.
Sanji didn't really do anything. But every time, even at the end, even in this fucking chapter, when fucking the swordsman Gorosei was gonna fly and attack them, Nami's talking about some Zoro do something because he might be the only
nigga up immediately too. He
said, "All right, if I
So
gotta do it." He's the only one that can really handle that shit at this point. So I think that we're gonna start to see them kind of rise above. I think they might be the only two to genuinely get that nod from the government in terms of these niggas are a problem. These niggas are kind of an issue.
Yeah, I can see that. Especially Zoro getting an increase. He's got the special blade, got the kitsune. He's able to fight me. He's able to stand toe to toe with me.
He clashed with New Zoro. I think that's enough for them to say, okay, we got to kind of. He's a dangerous man.
Because nobody else touched the Gorosei member besides those 2.
Those are the only 2. Yes.
Trying to think, what did Jinbei do? But no, he didn't fight a Gorosei.
He didn't directly fight a Gorosei. Yeah, those are the only 2 I think that directly. Sanji attempted to, but he couldn't move because he got paralyzed by.
And he's a bird.
Whatever. I don't think I just don't think Sanji's haki is that good yet. I think that's the key difference between Jinbei and Sanji. Sanji's exoskeleton is kind of a crutch right now. He's gonna have to get.
He's relying on it too much.
Haki.
Yep.
Now it's kind of, to me, it's becoming more of an over-reliance on it. I think he has to get better haki to get over that. I would say to even be stronger than Jinbei, which we're assuming he has to be sooner or later. Jinbei's got that full body shit.
Jinbei's got full body that can break opponents' hands that are also coded in haki.
Who's who is not a bum. Who's who is like he was a CP9 agent at some point.
A rival to Rob Lucci. He had haki and an ancient zone, so he has increased durability, increased strength. Just to think, like he had coded, like in hybrid is your strongest form. In your strongest form, with your highest amount of durability and defense, with haki on top of that, his hands broke. Jinbei's haki is different.
Yeah, broke is crazy. Broken hands on Jinbei's body is nuts. Sanji has to get stronger than that, and I don't see his haki on that level personally. I think if it was, I think he'd be able to. I don't know if break out of that ability would be the right word, because I wonder what that ability really is. But I feel like he'd be able to deal with certain opponents. Hopefully, an admiral in the future. But right now, I don't see him being able to deal with any of the admirals, or at least even really stand toe to toe with them. I don't think Zoro's beating the admiral, but I think he could stand up to an admiral for sure. I don't think Sanji could.
I think Sanji's skills are going to be more focused towards his speed and his observation haki, rather than like his actual like physical attack power for the most part. I don't see him going any further than the suit abilities, honestly.
Really?
Like
that he maxes
out. I
don't
see his haki. Yeah.
I don't think he's gonna be able to really be. I think he's outside of the top tier because of that. Then, because I truly do think that haki is the difference maker. Like it's what put Zoro above him in the first place. Point. Yeah,
but he's still stronger than like CP9. You know what I mean? Like I think he's still stronger than like
CP9.
If he fought like Haku.
Do you think he beats Rob Lucci? Because I don't think he beats Rob Lucci.
I think it's actually a lot closer, but I don't think he wins.
Yeah,
I think he does give Rob Lucci a sort of a difficult fight in terms of speed. I think Sanji could keep up with him for the most part, but in terms of like actual attack power,
I don't think put down his own
and bloodlust. Unless Rob Lucci smacked the girl before they fought, like it's really.
I still don't even think bloodlust is. I don't know if he could match Killer's
Lucci's bloodlust. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like it's gonna be a different level. Like Lucci's gonna go from the kill just cause. Sanji needs all these special conditions to then go for the one shot, maybe. Because he still doesn't open up with like his strongest moves. He still gets pummeled and then wants to use an Ifrit Jambe at the very end. Yeah, I think Sanji's a burger.
Once Zoro turned it on against Rob Lucci, it was kind of raps right there. Like once he got serious about this shit, it was kind of raps.
I don't know. It wasn't clearly defined as Zoro to win. I think it was Zoro's win, but he didn't take the win, if that makes sense.
The nigga didn't even put on his do-rag. I don't know. It is.
I feel like Lucci had another level he could have went to, and I feel like clearly Zoro had another level he could have gone to, but I still feel like Lucci didn't go all out either.
If he doesn't go all out in that situation, then I question the dog in that nigga, honestly.
Fucking weak.
I gotta question.
I feel like the situation to go all out. Like
I gotta question your dog right there.
I mean, if Lucci's plan is just let me buy time until the Gorosei get here.
He's a burger.
He's a burger. Yeah, you gotta go for the win.
For that.
You gotta go for the win.
You're not fighting the Yonko captain anymore. You're fighting the first in command. You're fighting their,
he clearly had a reality check, realized Yonko's just above him. Can't do that. Maybe a right-hand commander is. I think after about 5 minutes of fighting with Zoro, he probably realized, okay, I can't be the right-hand commander either. But he can't just like leave. You know what I mean? So he's just gonna stall out. Let me hold you here until somebody can actually fix the problem.
That's even worse. That's honestly worse.
You got folded by 2 members of the team.
Because I don't think Lucci beats
like,
King.
Where do you even go from there?
You say you don't think Lucci beats Kid?
King.
Oh, King. Oh my God. Oh, Oh yeah, that's fine.
No.
Yeah.
Kid loses the rest of his limbs.
I was about to say,
it's not.
Kid? I was like, since when did we start rating Kid that high? What?
Yeah, wait, y'all think Kid loses to Lucci?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, unless he starts with like that giant fucking robot shit immediately. But
I don't
even
even think
then,
that shit matters. He gets speed blitz.
It's not going to be able to touch him.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I mean, I don't feel like I'm rating this nigga. I don't feel like I'm rating this nigga too highly. I just think the ability to assign magnetism to your opponent is pretty crazy. I think using that shit against Big Mom was only not as effective because it was Big Mom. Like, she's massive, and also she's
I don't
a
think
freak.
the fight doesn't get to that point with Rob Lucci though. Like, I think that's
Rob Lucci doesn't stand there and like let that rock.
Yeah, like,
so you think Rob Lucci just blitzes him and he's done for off rip?
For sure. I think he moves way quicker than Big Mom ever could dream of. And then we've never seen Kid deal with that type of speed. Literally every time Kid has faced that type of speed, he's lost. Whether it be a Kaido attack, a Big Mom speed blitz. If Big Mom is speed blitzing you, it's raps. I can't say that you've beaten Rob Lucci.
I don't know.
He would have to land some really lucky shit. Like, I think Rob Lucci has more win conditions than Kid does.
I think Rob Lucci has better immediate speed, obviously, and better combo potential. Obviously, I don't think you could dispute that. He could probably rack up the damage quicker than Kid can. But Kid has, I would say, he has pretty good durability for the most part. Nigga ate several of Big Mom's attacks, all while Hawkins was sabotaging this nigga, stabbing him and shit like that, smashing his head into the wall and doing that shit like that.
That was kind of wild. Yo, man, sabotaging. But
nigga stood on his feet. He was still standing there taking blows from Big Mom too the whole time. And I don't think Rob Lucci hits as hard as Big Mom. That's one. I also think that, and this is just me, I think the magnetism ability, I think Kid is just stupid as fuck. I genuinely think this nigga is dumb.
That's another thing.
I think he's dumb. Every time he's in the corner, nigga do some magnetic shit. And it actually, it's track record wise from what we've seen. And I'm not talking about the L's we haven't seen, because, you know, the L's that we've seen are definitive. You know what I'm saying? Or at least the battles that we've seen are definitive. The magnetism shit, it catches people off guard. Most niggas are not prepared to deal with the magnetism shit.
It's hard to fight against the magnetism. I'll give you that much. It is really fucking tough. Hard to deal with that. Especially in the world of One Piece, I don't see how you would really deal with it.
It's hard to counter, especially when you don't know it's like really coming. I would say, yeah, for the most part, it's hard to deal with.
And especially if he could make non-magnetic things magnetic, I think that is a big deal for the most part. Because if you could, like, there's a lot of potential with that fruit. There's a whole lot of potential with that fruit. Because we've seen so many like magnet-based characters, like magnetism-based characters that go absolutely insane. So it just really comes down to Kid's battle IQ as well as his.
I think he has a toss. I'm not saying. I don't think he wins all the time. I don't think he wins all the time. I give him maybe like
out of 10 fights.
Out of 10 fights, he probably wins 4 times. Three to four times. 3 to 4 times. Thank you. 3 to 4 times.
So then Rob Lucci wins the majority. Then
I would say Rob Lucci wins the majority, but I think the potential. I think they're in the same caliber of
power
opponent. I think they're
okay.
Power is interesting because I do think Kid, if given the time, the railgun is devastating. Like, the railgun is like that's quite powerful, but I don't know if in terms of like a fighter, it's enough on the top tier. Like, I don't think Kid has enough to elevate to the top tier. Truly, honestly, that's the real difference.
I don't know, man. I think the track record we've seen for red hat fighters in One Piece shows that they're all pretty fraudulent. And I can't really trust. Both of them, because one of them is a rat that uses his daddy's aura, and the other one gets folded by said rat. So I don't know who I trust anymore.